You don't really think we think that you care about the future, do we?
We live in the dark timeline where John Cena is a heel. Cannot believe it. And yet all the clues were there. And through the power of hindsight, I can see them. They're all exposed. I already did a video on the subject matter. And well, I missed some. And some of you boys and girls kept throwing at me, it was Bray Wyatt.
Yowie wowie!
You missed the Bray Wyatt connection.
You do have me all wrong, John. I'm not sick. You are.
If you look at my first video, all that stuff still applies. It's all still true. But a lot of people told me that I needed to look at the Bray Wyatt connection.
It's good to see you again, John.
My gut reaction is this. They are not connected whatsoever. But I did find an argument. I did find a way to tie the 2020 feud to John Cena's heel turn. No joke, this is not clickbait. No, there is a connection, and I want to explore this because not only was I getting that from a lot of viewers, I was seeing it on other YouTube channels as well, but people would gloss over things, and I don't know if you know this about me, but I am clinically diagnosed with OCD. So when I find a subject matter that I really like, that I can sink my teeth into, I will research until I hit rock bottom. No pun intended. Okay, well, I mean, the pun was intended, but when I put the shirt on, I wasn't thinking of that pun. Where was I? I am going to play devil's advocate here and argue both sides because it is there. I can't deny it. There is a way to say that the Bray Wyatt feud of WrestleMania 36 is actually linked to the heel turn of John Cena at Elimination Chamber, and we're going to get into it. So let's start off with Bray Wyatt himself.
Let me in, John.
So that dude is Bray Wyatt. That is Bray Wyatt. He was the Eater of Worlds. The Wyatt family loved Bray Wyatt.
You don't really think we think that you care about the future. I mean, John Cena cares about John Cena.
That clip right there, he's actually talking about when he was Husky Harris on the main roster. Bray Wyatt first appeared as Husky Harris, and he poked John Cena in the eye. This is how the story goes, and it's a long-standing rumor, but it was pretty much confirmed by Baron Corbin on the Chris Van Vliet show, saying that Bray Wyatt, Husky Harris, accidentally poked John Cena in the eye during a match, and John Cena got so irate, so mad, he sent him back to NXT, which was a blessing because that's where he developed the Bray Wyatt character. The crazy thing is, though, as Husky Harris or Bray Wyatt, he never won this championship, this NXT championship belt, but you can do it. You don't even have to poke John Cena in the eye, though it would be kind of cool because we can see him now. But yeah, no, you can win this unlike Bray Wyatt or Husky Harris. All you got to do, though, is comment below. You do got to comment below. You got to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification, ding, 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 with a thumbs up. That's only like 3 things in a comment. Not that hard to do. I would appreciate it. I am trying to quit my day job, go full time, follow the dream, and just produce wrestling content all day long, and you can win a belt in the process. This is a replica, not a toy, and I got other ones for your amusement, enjoyment as well if you don't want to become the NXT champion. All right, so yeah, so where were we? But by 2020, he was the Fiend, and he had the Firefly Funhouse, which was a Mr. Rogers type character.
Did you miss me? Oh, how I have missed you. But I knew that we would be back together again someday.
There was like the alter ego of Bray Wyatt, the Mr. Rogers guy, and then the Fiend, the scariest thing of all time. If you leave your feet exposed at night, not the blankets are not covering your feet, the Fiend is the thing that comes out and, gnaws on your feet. Moving along. And while the Fiend is a monster in real life, Bray Wyatt is a monster in your head. And Bray Wyatt, well, he pretty much exposes all these things of John Cena.
I mean, John Cena cares about John Cena. It doesn't matter who he has to smash or bury along the way. He gets his spotlight.
Not a hero, John. You're a bully. You're a horrible person.
You do anything for fame, John. Congratulations. You're the man now, John. Poor, lonely John Cena.
Okay, so while that is compelling, entertaining stuff, Bray Wyatt, he was all about the mind games, and Vince McMahon was firmly in charge of WWE at that time, and in 2018, John Cena even said he wanted to be a heel, but couldn't because of who's in charge.
There's creative feelings inside me who would love to be a bad guy on WWE. That ain't gonna happen because that's not my job. My job is to be who I am, and that comes from my director.
So while he did want to be a heel, he knew he couldn't be a heel because of Vince. So I think this was all Bray Wyatt's mind games. That said, you could actually argue, canonically speaking, maybe this did have something to do with it because it is a fact. It is a fact in WWE canon. If you don't know what canon means, it's a science fiction comic book nerd term. That's what I am. I'm a giant nerd. You're like, what, Ken? You're a nerd? Come on, we all knew that. We all knew that. Let's be honest. Like, I see how I represent myself and how I talk. I just got to do this a little more and have a pocket protector, and I would complete my gimmick. But that said, what canon means is that it's true. It's true to that story. It's a fact within that story. It is canon that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that Thanos snapped his fingers and half the universe disappeared. It is canon in the WWE universe that when you fight Bray Wyatt / The Fiend, that he alters you on some level.
And Bray Wyatt brags that he's changed superstars. Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and probably Daniel Bryan.
Back in 2019, 2020, when The Fiend fought everyone from Seth Rollins to Daniel Bryan to The Miz, it would alter them. It would change them. They would go from face to heel or heel to face. So you can argue that because John Cena was such a face, he was the ultimate face, that it took 5 years, almost 5 years, for the influence of The Fiend to fester and manifest itself into a heel John Cena. I don't buy that, but I am throwing it out there. But again, that said, well, there's one more opportunity for this to be The Fiend and Bray Wyatt's handiwork, in that if you look at John Cena's shirt, turn him around, it says, "You can't see me after this," right? Or "After this, you can't see me." Why is there a door? And that door is very important to Bray Wyatt's legacy and his little section of the WWE universe, in that there was a door that he had to enter to get into the Firefly Funhouse. That door was a big, a metaphor for Bray Wyatt. But again, I need to throw some water on this theory, in that the door here on John Cena's shirt is brown, and the door here on the Firefly Funhouse that John Cena entered in is white. So, different doors at the very least. Now, it still might be the Firefly Funhouse door, but it's not the same one that John entered in for his Firefly Funhouse match at WrestleMania 36. Hold up, though. As I say that the door does not match, well, the door does not match what John Cena went in at WrestleMania, but it does match the Extreme Rules 2022 door. And that door is the door that Bray Wyatt returned in 2022. Because in real life, Bray Wyatt was released from WWE, but he came back, and the door actually does match John Cena's shirt now. So now the Firefly Funhouse doors do match. Unfortunately, in real life, not kayfabe, Bray Wyatt did pass. However, Bray Wyatt's legacy still continues on through the Wyatt 6. Wyatt 6 last year, 2024, was reintroduced, and they came out of That's right, they came out of the Firefly Funhouse door, and that's where they continuously come out of. So the doors can actually now be the same with the Extreme Rules Firefly Funhouse door and the John Cena shirt on the back. And you might be thinking it's just a coincidence. It's not just a coincidence. The merchandise, I will go into big detail in part 3, but the merchandise is actually literally being altered and considered during this part of his heel turn. In fact, I'll show you just a quick example is this hat right here. If you look, the C is over the no, because John Cena has said,
"You have made me the butt of a stupid invisible joke for 15 years and you still think it's funny. It is not funny."
And so now you can see John Cena, and they have, for the first time ever, altered the "you can't see me" part, and the C is in front of the "can't see," because we can now see John Cena now that he is a heel. Go look at any other merchandise anywhere, and it is never ever until this hat right here that the C is in front. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. In past interviews, John Cena has said that the merchandise will be taken into consideration.
What is a heel? A heel is not just new gear. It's its exact opposite of what you saw. It's like, how can I take the intellectual property that people are familiar with and twist it? I know this is going to sting, but I'm not going to sell another t-shirt. I'm not going to put out anything new.
In regards to his heel turn, and he even mentioned it in his first promo.
You don't get a new look because you dress like me. I don't dress like you idiots.
So merchandise is actually a key factor in this whole thing, meaning that door actually might be the Firefly Funhouse door. And what we're saying is that, just like The Miz said,
And Bray Wyatt brags that he's changed superstars.
facing Bray Wyatt changes a person. Maybe it was the fact that the Wyatt Six are now coming in and out of the door so much that, who knows, maybe every time the door opens, it would bring John Cena a little closer to the dark side. Now I know a lot of you are probably like, I don't like this spooky stuff. Honestly, I don't either. I hope this is all wrong. I really do. Because I want John Cena to just turn because he hated that 10-year-old kid.
And you, everybody, including that one kid right there, is a toxic, dysfunctional relationship.
Last week, I put a clueless kid on blast. His poor, pathetic face was everywhere.
You know, that's what I really want. I don't want any spookiness involved in any of this. But you gotta take the good with the bad, and I do know that a lot of people do like the spooky aspect of WWE, but you gotta take it. You gotta take it. If WWE makes it canon, then I gotta consider it into the overall picture. So my conclusion is this. No, I don't think Bray Wyatt had anything to do with the heel turn, because I just don't. I don't. However, if you wanted to retcon and say that because Bray Wyatt facing him in 2020 did change people, that you could say it started the process, and then when he returned in 2022, that door was the Firefly Funhouse door, which then reignited the heel process, and the fact that the Wyatt Six are continuously going in and out of the door, it finally turned John Cena heel, or got him to at least accept that he was angry at the crowd and then act on it. So ultimately, if they wanted to, they could make it work. I hope they don't. I think this is all just coincidence and me going hyper nerd on all this and making an explanation for it, because it could happen, but I don't think the intentions were ever there. If that all makes sense to you. Hopefully some of you stayed with me and you enjoyed these kind of videos. What would you call this? Fantasy booking maybe? Or just like some lonely dude filming a YouTube video? I'm sorry. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? I can laugh at Goldberg. Ha ha ha, Goldberg. You're never going to win the title again. And other than that, though, other than laugh at yourself and Goldberg, I mean, who can you laugh at? But yeah, that's it. That's the video. If you find more clues, if you know more clues, please post them below. I can add them into the next video. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a great day.